Hi, welcome to our summit, How to Build a Brand Today and in Years to Come. I'm your host, Katie Cannon, CEO of Gold Medal Coaching, and I have the wonderful Courtney Hanson with us today, who is an incredible life coach, author, and is an energy healing therapist. So welcome, Courtney.
Thank you so much.
It's an absolute honor to have you on our summit. And Courtney is a super busy mummy of three, running a very successful business. So I know carving out the time to do an interview is super, super hard. So really thank you so much for being part of our summit and sharing your incredible wisdom and knowledge. And I wanted to share this because obviously you're an energy healing therapist, but when I connected with Courtney, first of all, she sent me the best email ever, which I could just feel the energy bouncing off through the text on the screen. And so much of building a brand that's going to be sustainable is all about energy. So I just wanted to touch on that right at the beginning. So Courtney, you're going to be sharing all about being authentic in your niche and really being true to you. So let's start. And can you just share, Courtney, with our community a little bit about what actually authentic means when you're building a business?
Absolutely. So I think being authentic is really finding your niche and finding something that you are just passionate about and that sets your soul on fire. So if you are doing something that maybe feels good at the time but isn't your true purpose, you're going to feel it and you're going to start to fall into that imposter syndrome, and you're going to feel kind of fake and fraudy and you're not going to be motivated. So when you're being authentic and you are in your niche of what you're supposed to do, you wake up on fire. You wake up wanting to do stuff, wanting to help people in that passion, in that mode, and you are just in the zone the entire time. So I feel like the difference between being authentic and kind of just doing what works for right now would definitely be really tapping into that feeling inside on what is setting you on fire and what is motivating you. If it's not motivating you, it's not where your purpose should be. And it's amazing because there's different levels of it. So you can be a mommy blogger, or you can be a coach, or you can work with it as an influencer. But then underneath it, there's all these specialized niches. And that's where you get to be authentic and truly find what makes you stand out as a brand against everyone else.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, because in a world of social media where there's stuff thrown at you everywhere, it's so hard.
It's overwhelming.
And I've struggled with this so many times, and we were discussing this, Courtney and I were discussing this prior to going live, on keeping that focus and comparing yourself to others, and really being true to what you believe in, rather than thinking, oh, I shouldn't really do that because I can't see anyone else doing this, or I should do that but I'm worried because so many other people are doing it, and that brings us on to, Courtney, of competition, and why comparing yourself is pretty much not going to get you anywhere. So delve in a little bit more to that, because I really believe that's such an important piece of the jigsaw when building a brand that is going to be very sustainable for years to come.
Yes. And I think a lot of people get tripped up too, because you look for motivation and you look for inspiration from other people, and that's beautiful to get inspired by other people. But it's so easy and such a thin line to fall on being inspired and having that I'm not good enough, I'm never going to be like them, my page doesn't look like that, and you almost like quit on yourself and your brain starts feeding you all this icky stuff. So we have to get out of that consciousness and tap into that they have their own journey and they are here making their mark, and you have your own journey and you are here for a reason. So when we're able to get in alignment with our purpose and what our mission is, which is when I always tell people that I coach, like, you need to get crystal clear on what you're doing. Like, what is your brand? Like, who are you helping? Because you're not helping everyone. And I love the quote, if you're helping everyone, you're helping no one. And that's so true. Like, you can't have a target audience of everyone. You have to pick who and what you're going to be pushing, because you're not for everyone. And that's okay, because that person might be for that person and you're for this person. And that's what's so beautiful about it, because there's so much for everyone, because you are going to help someone that maybe Janice next door isn't going to help, and vice versa. So when we can drop into that state of being loving and being like, wow, how can I learn from this person? Like, what aspects do I like that I want to add to my brand versus, oh, I'm not going to be as good as them. I'm such a fraud. I'm never going to amount to that. We just need to kind of flip the script in our head.
Absolutely. And share with us a little bit how you've, in the UK, we say niche, by the way. It's so funny because no one ever,
love it.
It's niche and niche. And it's so funny. So if you hear me say niche, you're like, what is she saying? Share with our community, Courtney, how you've niched your brand down.
Yes.
Over
So
years and around your family. How have you done that exercise yourself?
I was actually the queen of like trying to appeal to everyone, which is why I'm such an expert in this field. So I started out doing Etsy actually.
Courtney, it's because you're like a ball of energy. Like you're just like, I could do that. I bet you're a really good baker. I bet you're like, I could bake. Yep, I could do that. I could do a blog on how to make cakes, and I could do this.
That's my problem. This is my problem. So I would start out though, and I would be like, I started with Etsy, and I was like, I'm going to teach women how to stay at home and craft. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And that is actually how my Instagram took off. And then I was like, man, I'm a mom. I'm working this successful Etsy business. I'm going to write a book about how you do work-life balance. So then I wrote a book. So then I have like all these 3 things. And then I was like, I'm going to do Monet. I'm going to do Arbonne. I'm going to do, so I started taking on all this stuff and I was like, I can do it all. I can do it all.
So you were part of 2 network marketing companies at the same time?
Oh yeah.
Because I always find now obviously this is not a summit about network marketing and different industries, but it's all health and wellness related.
Yeah.
And very much, very much in terms of building online and building sustainability. How come I always very passionate on people not being part of 2 network marketing companies because I don't know how that works. How does that work?
I don't know how it works because I failed at both of them because I couldn't commit to anything.
That's a good example because you take it on too much.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was taking on all of these things and I ended up having a complete mental breakdown and crashing and burning. And when I had my 3rd son, I had postpartum really bad.
So this is all having young children as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very me. You're like Superwoman, and then you get to a point and you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, boom. Yeah. So when that happened, I actually went to school to be an energy healing therapist and a Reiki master. And I realized that I wasn't being true to myself by what I was doing. So I love dressing up. I love clothes. I love fun products, but who doesn't? That's fun, right? But that's not like what sets my soul on fire. What sets my soul on fire is empowering women to know their worth and feeling a part of something and knowing that they can do anything they put their mind to when they align that energy. And so I completely reshifted my brand. And I was like, I am going to lose all these followers because I ended up selling my Etsy business. I let go of so many things. And once I let go, the things that started falling into place for me were unbelievable because I found that I wasn't taking on too much. I was focusing on what I wanted to focus on. And I just knew, I was like, you know what? If I do this, the abundance will come, the money will come, the happiness, everything will just come because I am focused on what my purpose is. And I feel like when we can get to that versus trying to make everyone happy, that's when magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the struggles I've had is obviously I have my gyms. I have gymnastic centers, and that's where Gold Medal Coaching was born because I've learned so much of building gyms and online, offline stuff and PTing. And obviously that's where I've really found my experience over the last 12 years. But one of the things I struggled when starting Gold Medal Coaching was obviously one thing I focus on is helping health and fitness entrepreneurs to build their gym, their studio, or build a really great online business. But at the beginning, it was so diverse. It was like, well, I'm just going to help health and wellness people. So how specific is that? It's like, could I be help health and wellness? It's even including Reiki and it's so diverse. And it's one of the things that I learned on a blogging course was, let's take an example of how to break down your niche. And this is, let's say you are a recipe, you're doing recipes. So first of all, you'd be like, recipes for vegans. And then you'd break your niche down even more, and you might do breakfast recipes for vegans, for example, just as a generic. I've just thought of that off the top of my head. But you see how you're breaking it down, and you're not saying you're basing your whole business on just breakfast recipes, but you're basing your business on recipes for vegans.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no point being a recipe blogger, because what are you specializing in? Cupcakes, dinners, breakfasts. It's so diverse, it's so big.
Oh, yeah.
So, and one of the things I know from my clients a lot, Courtney, and something I've really struggled with as well, is you think you're going to cut off a lot of market, and you're not going to have enough clients if you niche down too much. But like you just said, it's the complete opposite. It's 100% the complete opposite. So share with us, Courtney, like when you are aligned, and talking about alignment and energy, what are the real, you just touched on it a minute ago, when you really were aligned, everything starts to happen for you. How does that kind of flow into being aligned and yet letting your energy flow, and, bringing it all together, basically?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really comes down to the balance and making sure that you're vibrating at a high level. And by doing that, we make sure that we're healthy, right? We make sure that we're healed. So we can't run a business if our mind, body, and soul is not connected, which is the whole basis of my business, because I realized that, oh my gosh, I was so obsessed with my business, and I was like so held on to it that I wasn't taking care of anything else. And so by letting go, I feel that that's when real magic begins to happen, because we're taking care of our bodies, we're watching what we eat, we're working out, we're spending more time with our kids. When we are able to find that flow of what works, everything starts to align and fall into place. And we're able to raise our energy up. And so God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, wants to match our energy, but we have to be there to match it. So if
we're fighting to help you, and they're like, get out of the way.
Yes, they're like, come on. But yeah, we're standing in our own way half the time. We're like so obsessed on something, and that's all we think about. And it gets in our way. It acts as a huge blockage. So when we're able to be at that place of just peace and knowing that like the universe has got my back, like everything just starts to come in and everything starts to flow. And so when we're able to figure out what that alignment looks like for us, and the beautiful thing is it is such a personal journey, but when we're able to get to that area, that's when things just will start to come into place exactly like they are supposed to.
Yeah, amazing. And one of the key things, I think, when you are fighting it, it just never happens,
Yes,
like you said, doing less. I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder, and I've really struggled with the spiritual side. I am a more masculine energy rather than feminine energy, and I've had to really work on the letting go and the meditation and the gratitude. So not that I wasn't grateful, but you know what I mean, really delving into the spiritual side. And it's not about, I'd be like, well, I'm just going to work harder, I'm just going to double my actions, I'm just going to, for me, I think that comes from my gymnastic background. Well, you're just going to work harder. You want to be fitter, do 100 sit-ups, not 50, and it's not about working smarter sometimes. It's just, working longer. It's about working smarter. And just going, I'm not going to work 5 hours, I'm going to work 3, but I'm going to work better.
Yeah, and it's just that stillness, because a lot of times we create such a chaos and such a busyness in our minds that we're in a creative industry, right? So we have to have ideas flowing to us and content ideas and all the things. And so we can't do that when we're constantly in hustle mode, right? Yeah. So when we're able to step into that femme energy and step out of the masculine energy and get into that flow state where being still in the morning routines, and I swear to you, my morning routine has saved my life. Like the days that I don't do it, I am like a different person. I wake up like in total BITCH mode. I'm not ready for the day. But if I take that morning time to just be still and have time with myself, and for me, that's really the only femme energy time I personally get, because I'm like on once my kids are up, which I'm sure you relate to. Yeah. So I feel like after that, it's kind of game time. So it's important to carve that out. And I think the most powerful thing that anyone has ever said to me is because I hear so often like, well, I don't have time for that. I don't know how you make time. How do you have the time for all that?
Yeah.
And so I feel like when we're able to step outside of that and really think like we all have the same 24 hours. So Tony Robbins and you have the exact same 24 hours. Look at what he's doing and look at what you're, you know what I mean? Like we just spin ourselves out in our minds. So when we're able to step outside of that and just like get to the point of I'm okay with whatever outcome happens, everything just falls into place.
Yeah, I totally agree with the morning routine. I'm exactly the same.
Yes.
Just having that time. For me, I get up at 6 to 7 and my children normally wake about 6:45. So I save my exercise for 7 because I know I can do that if the children are up because they join in. But the reading and the meditation I have to do by myself. So it's about, I did try getting up at 5 and couldn't stick to it. Could not stick to it. I was tired.
6 o'clock too.
Grouchy, yeah. So that's amazing. So Courtney, just can you share a little bit off topic, but I know a lot of our mums in our community will really value from hearing you share this because obviously you've got 3 pretty young children that are very intense ages where I need a lot of love and support, shall we say. Can you just share a basic daily routine or where you've asked for help or, you know, daycare and that sort of thing that has really helped you?
Yeah. So are you ready for this?
I've got my notepad.
I know. I tell people this and they're like, what? So me and my husband, honest to God, did not have a babysitter until like 6 months ago for the first time ever. So funny.
Amazing. So you had, but one's at school, yeah? Because you got a 10-year-old.
I homeschool.
No.
Yes.
You just need to, I'm just going to end this call now.
No, I have secrets. So yeah, no, I like you. I wake up at 6:30. I tried to do the 5 a.m. thing too, and I require a little bit more sleep. If I don't get it, I'm like train wreck by the time 3 o'clock rolls around. So it just doesn't work. And I know a lot of people are so hard on that. And I really just think the biggest answer for morning routines is allowing yourself grace and kind of playing with it and finding out what works for your body and what doesn't, because what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. And so I think that's really important to not read a book and be like, oh, well, this person said I have to get up at 5. I have to get up at 5 because that might work for that person, but it's not you. So I think it's really just allowing that grace and ease. But I get up around 6:30. I do my meditations and stuff. And then I go on and I respond to all my emails and things while the kids are still sleeping because I am so ADHD that I cannot focus and do emails while they're awake. And so I get all that done in the morning and then I'm like feeling caught up and ready to just be on react mode versus catch up mode throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then they get up, we usually do homework, get stuff going, and then kind of unfolds how the day goes. I really, really have my days kind of just flow with where everyone's at. So yeah, and then evening times, I usually sit down for a couple hours and try and knock out any projects that I'm working on. And then I do batch scheduling, which has saved my life.
I'm obsessed with that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how I did anything before that. I really don't. So I do like, everyone's like, oh, you pump out so much content. How do you come up with it? I swear to you, some pictures I do on the fly, but like majority of my Instagram, like my husband will come home from work and I'm like, okay, we need to take pictures for a day. And he'll take all my pictures for like 20 things that I have to do for projects. Yeah. And then I'll have like 3 nights that I'm like really feeling like motivated. So I'll put the kids to bed and I'll sit and like pump out courses and have my hair all crazy and not have makeup on and just be able to like rampage through projects.
Yeah.
But I really like plan strategically. So like every day you don't want to get up and have to get ready, right? Like no one does. We wouldn't work for ourselves if we did. So it's nice to have those days.
I don't wear these earrings every day.
I know, it's like, I know you're so glamorous. It's nice to have those days though to allow yourself to look, you know, like you're like, today is my sweatpants day and I'm going to get stuff done because it is balance. Like you have a family and you have a business and you have your house and there are things that need to be done. So I think it's really important just to kind of play with what works. But the biggest thing that I think is a non-negotiable is having a regular morning routine and a regular evening routine that works for you and your family. And in the middle, you just figure it out as it goes.
Totally. And just going back to the batch content for people that may not know if you're brand new to being an entrepreneur or not running your own business, and you're just it's maybe of interest, the batch content or batching things together is pretty much just recording. Rather than doing a video like every week, you might say I do a podcast every Monday, you might record 4 podcasts in one go. And I've been known the other day, and I was literally had all my recordings set up, and I recorded 3 months worth of weekly episodes. I changed costumes. I had my dresses lined up, I changed my hair, and you know what? And I talk, because it's a big part of coaching and helping people go through it. It's like, and I make a joke of it and sometimes say, I'm recording this today, but it's going out on this day. And to show them an example of how to do it, and that has saved, again, you're not having to do your hair and makeup every time. Right. You're in recording mode, and it takes a while to get yourself in it and to get yourself moving. And I'm sometimes better. I've realized that I can do 3 months worth of content, like 12 episodes. And I think that took me 5 hours. So it didn't even take me a long time, because I'd pre-planned it all. But if I'd done that every week, I'd guarantee it would probably taken me an hour to do each one each week.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not in the flow. So
you're not in the mood yet. It takes an hour just to get going, right?
Yeah, exactly. It gets in the flow. So I'm a massive fan of batching things together as well. Massive fan. And my VA, I have a part-time VA who, just getting yourself a virtual assistant is another one as a mummy. But she literally gets all these episodes for me and schedules them in our scheduling tool. And she's like, right, she does them a week in advance, so she can check the wording and all that sort of thing. But yeah, no, that's such good advice. How do you homeschool? Because after doing it when we were in lockdown, I've decided I'm not a homeschool mum.
So we're so blessed. So we have, we go to a hybrid actually. So they go like 2 half days. So they go Wednesday and Thursday from 8 to 12. Yeah. And then we homeschool the rest of the time. But it's been so amazing because they don't necessarily have to do the distant learning thing. They really didn't do much of that, actually.
Have you always homeschooled, even prior pandemic?
For the last 2 years, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's just easier for us because our lives are my husband's a firefighter, and so his schedule is so wonky, and my schedule is so weird. So for our family, it just works better.
Perfect. Well, fair play, because, with a 5-year-old in the pandemic, and Ashton went from 1 to 17 months. I found I literally got 15 minutes done with her because he was just everywhere, And in the 2 hours he napped, I needed to get some work done, and she watched a film. So it's kind of, that
we call my youngest Wreck-It Ralph because he's like impossible. Like I've never, like my other 2 were not like this. Like the third, like, oh my gosh, she just came out like breaking things. And so if this attention is not on him, it's like World War III in the house. So definitely it's a matter of like, you're going to work on this, and then I'm going to go do this, and then you're going to work on this. So it's like a lot of running around.
Amazing. Well, you must have the patience of a saint, Courtney. You really must. So amazing. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. You have been absolutely epic, and I know our community will have got so much value. Now, I'm going to throw this on you because I completely forgot to ask you before, but it'd be great if you could offer like a free gift to our community, like something where they can find out a little bit more information from you. Do you have like a free service or free opt-in or PDF or something that?
Absolutely. So right now I'm actually doing free 30-minute calls and free opt-ins for all of our goodies and our subscription membership. So it's like free meditations and manifestation classes and things like that. So they can sign up. Yeah, it just says Mind, Body, and Soul Tribe on my website, and they can sign up there as a free gift, and I'll send you all the links and stuff too for the extra goodies.
Cool. Well, I'll put more of Courtney's bio below in the show notes, and I will also put the link to Courtney's free gift. So thank you so much for that. That's super, super lovely of you to offer that to our community, and thank you so much for your time. I know they've got so much value, and I could literally talk to you for about an hour and a half. So next time,
I know I could too.
We'll have to cut this short. I love all your animals going back and forth. I've seen a dog and a cat.
I know. I try. Yeah.
Great. It's kept us on.
It's like a zoo. I have 3 dogs and 3 cats.
And 3 kids. Amazing.
And 3 kids. Oh, and a guinea pig. I forget about the guinea
Like
pig.
super women. It makes mine. I've got no pets and 2 kids. And I think, oh my gosh, what am I moaning about?
They
Anyway.
just come and find me. I don't know.
Oh, bless them. Anyway, thank you so much, Courtney. So this video is, you can watch this as many times as you desire. And so, as I always say, pick one thing that Courtney's discussed and action it. Don't try to action everything all in one go. So if you haven't got a solid morning routine going, just start by getting up 5 minutes earlier and just starting with a little bit of journaling or a little bit of meditation and just getting some kind of morning routine going and build from there. So thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next interview. Bye.
Sounds good. Bye.